What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the greatest podcast in the world, Shooting the Shit Uncensored. I am your host, the truth, the dad bod god, the bald, the beard, the beautiful Piers Austin. And tonight I am excited to have our guest making his return, my man, my boy, the one and only Vinnie fucking Vane is in the building. I'm excited. I can't even get his damn name right. I'm sorry, guys. I had could hear myself back in my earphones. It was doing my head in. I had to change something up. But I'm excited to have Vinnie Vane back on the podcast. We're going to talk about a lot of things that have been going on in the last, since we last had him on, which wasn't really that long ago when we had him on with Kasai. But when we had Vinnie on and we're talking about Vinnie, I think it was about a year, maybe 2 years ago. So it's definitely been a while. I'm excited to get him back on. And for you guys to sit and enjoy a conversation between the both of us. But before we do, I need to take a quick second, a quick pause for the cause, baby, to talk about our sponsor, and that is sleefs.com. That's SLEEFS, sleefs.com. Now, listen, if you or someone you know is an athlete, you got to go and check out sleefs.com. They've got all your gear and athletic wear covered. They've got armbands, compression pants, compression shorts, headbands, boots, mouth guards, and you know they've got those dirty boxes that the dad bod god is always rocking. Now, listen, I'm a busy guy. I work full time. I podcast all the time, every night. I go to the gym 5-6 nights a week. You got 3 crazy kids, 1 crazy wife. Just kidding. I think she might have heard me on that one. But I'm excited to tell you that these dirty boxes are the best boxes that I've ever worn. They stay dry, they stay fresh, and with funky designs on the front of them, they're keeping Mrs. Austin giggling on what's on the front of the boxes, not what's inside them. So go and get yourself some dirty boxes at sleefs.com. Use promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount at your final purchase. Anyway, well, it's time to get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone around the world, let's get into my conversation with the one, the only, Vinnie fucking Vane. Welcome back to the greatest podcast in the world, Shooting the Shit Uncensored. And I'm here with one of my favorite people in the entire world. And I say that about everyone, but this time I actually mean it. The one and only Vinnie Vane.
Yeah, Vinnie Vane's doing something right now. I got to get a call out to Max Markson because you're supposed to be my agent and you got my fucking name wrong on your own show. I should replace you and belt you. I don't know which one I'm going to do first.
I know.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm doing all right. You know, same old same. Dad life, being the bad guy. And by bad guy, I mean telling my daughter she can't have cookies before bed. That's how bad I am these days.
Yeah, that's kind of the same level of bad I am, bro. Like I just tried to blackmail my 2-year-old with a lolly to have cough medicine. And let's just say that he ended up with both the lollies and he was only intended to have one and none of the cough medicine. So we'll see how tonight pans out.
Do you look at some of the shit you do as a dad and you're like, what the fuck? Like my daughter, right? She's 4, yeah? And legit, yeah? Like when I go to Macca's, right? This kid since she was like 3 years old, like no pickles, no sauce on her cheeseburger. And like I have to be that dad at the window that's like, I get a Happy Meal, please, with a cheeseburger, no sauce, no pickles. And like fucking if they get it wrong, like the world is over. And like I actually like cow tip to this shit and give in. Like, I don't know where we went wrong as parents, bro. Like, we're too soft.
But, bro, let me tell you something, bro. I had, like, Lucas Big Daddy Brown on the podcast last week.
The boxer,
yeah. We're talking about McDonald's, right? And like, have you ever like been to McDonald's, right? And like they've fucked up your shit and you've like been checked it like while you're there and you go, oh, hey, you've actually missing like XYZ or whatever it may be. And then like the staff member at McDonald's then proceeds to give you shit like it's your mistake. Like you shouldn't have ordered that. And it's like, and I asked him and his response was, well, to be honest, I'm 6'6" and about 130 kilos. No one really gives me any kind of shit.
Yeah, like, fair enough. Fair enough. But no, it's like something, I think it's like part of the Macca's manual. It's like, fuck up the drive-through order. Like it's like part of the criteria. It fucking annoys me. Like I can never go to drive-through at Macca's and get exactly what I ordered. It fucking annoys me, bro. But I don't go to Macca's that much, to be honest with you. Like I think the last time I had Macca's, it was with you and a few others after IWA.
That's right. Yeah. I don't really get into it that much. Like I get it for the kids once a week, just as their little treat. But like, yeah, even then, man, I like for me, once I sort of start on those nuggets, bro, it's like fuck. It's all over red. It's empty before I get home, and yeah. But dude, like getting into it, man, like you and I started working together. What, about a year ago?
November, I believe, for FWA. A year ago, give or take.
That's pretty wild, man. Like, how did you come up? Like, because you pretty much came up with the idea, like, of wanting to bring me in.
Yeah, like because I always enjoyed you. Like from when I first met you, and I just kind of enjoyed your company, and I liked your take. Like you and I share very similar like thoughts on wrestling, the scene. You know, like we're in that sort of same stage of life outside of wrestling, which I think like I gravitate more to those kind of people on the scene where like, things that are relatable, like family, career, like outside of wrestling. You know, like people got their like, you know, like people have their head switched on, some people don't. You can tell in the scene pretty quickly who's got their head switched on in the real world and who's fucking off with the fairy. So I kind of gravitated to you early on, and you know, we were talking a lot. I felt we had really good chemistry, and I know you had an interest in doing, you know, like more than a podcasting role. And I just thought, let's see if we could like this guy, if we can, like, I don't want to give out the details of what our character and personas are. Like that's between you and I. But you know, we spoke about that said character where we were modeling your persona off, and we absolutely love that. And that's where I was like, I think we have something here. This is something I want to do. And you and I pitched it to Fivey, who runs FWA. And, you know, he was the only bloke actually that gave us a chance to say, yeah, you know what, bring it in, let's introduce it. And it was literally, let's just see how it goes. It wasn't any promises of it's going to be an ongoing thing. It was one show that we did. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, man, I think we cut a promo and then I wrestled Kid Valiant.
That's right.
Yeah. Is that I'm right in saying that?
Yeah, that's true.
And like, man, we got so much heat. Like, you know, like everything we did, they were just like eating out of our hands. And like since then, it's just been a go-to. And look, you and I have had our trials and tribulations with this double act, and there's been some feds we've, you know, have spoken to us and we've pitched to them, and they're like, oh, you know, we just don't see it because we don't want what everyone else has. Which is fair enough. You know, we have to, you know, you have to fight for what you want. I think there's a ton of merit in it. I think the fans dictated success. You know what I mean? Like you and I are a package deal, and you know, obviously we do our own things on occasion. Like, you know, you'll go to this show and do X, and I'll go to this show and do Y. But like collectively, it's where I want my feet to be. I enjoy working with you. I think we have something that is, in my opinion, and look, it is probably a bit brash, a bit callous to say, but I think it's the best manager worker, heel worker combination on the Aussie scene. You can't change my mind. I don't think there's anyone else doing the manager and heel wrestler gimmick better than you and me at the moment. You know, but you know, people will say, oh, but you know, that you only work here and here. But yeah, I think that's all politics and bullshit. And if you and I were playing politics and into the systems of, you know, certain feds in certain places, we'd probably be booked there too. But like, I think the most important thing, bro, is like you and I just have fun doing it. You know what I mean? Most importantly, like it's fucking fun, you know, like the promos we cut, like, you know, like we do good promos in ring, we do some good content outside of ring. I know like I'm probably the pain in the ass when it comes to that, because I was like, oh, I'm busy, or I got this on, or I fucking.
No, but like we've both got busy lives, like but it's one of those things. It's like when we do get together, it's like, okay, let's do some content, let's do like promo or whatever.
But it's fucking magic. Like it always ends up being good, and I think it's because it's part of it is probably there's a little bit of realism and a bit of truth to some of the stuff. The truth, Piers awesome, but there's some of the truth to some of the things we're saying and some of the things we're doing. Like, they say that the best characters and gimmicks are those which are you but turned up times 100. And I think that's when you and we just bounce off each other and gel. And like we've done some promos where we've been like, fuck that, we're not posting it. Like that was rubbish.
Yeah. But I feel like some of our early ones were like, but like I feel like the one where like the first one we did where it was like magic. Like, I don't want to say magic, it can sound pretentious, but like,
no, it was fucking magic. Fuck it. Let's be pretentious.
I don't, look, I just think it was probably the first one where I went, yeah, you know what? I'm a little bit proud of that. Like, I'm happy with that. And the feedback I got from people who are like some of like the realest people in the industry, in Australia, but also in the US as well, who with people I know over there. So, and their feedback came and they critiqued it, and there was a couple of little things, but the overall consensus of it was, man, you guys the three of you guys look like money.
Look, we are a heel combination, right? Now, everyone can sit there and critique it and say, oh, you shouldn't have said this, or you should have done that, right? Yeah. The fact of the matter is that we need our job, essentially. It's not a matter of what we say or what we do. It's about the emotion we inspire out of the audience. So if the audience can look at us, listen to what we're saying, and boo and really get offside with what we're doing, then our job is done. I don't really give a fuck about, the way I had my body positioned or what I did. Like, don't get me wrong, these are all important things, but
of course,
like at the end of the day, it's not WWE programming. You know what I mean? It's a house show, so to speak, or a pay-per-view on on Fight or something. So it's not the end of the world. Like if we can get the response we need out of the crowd, I consider a job done. But there's little things obviously I take into consideration. But I'll be honest with you, I think when you told me some of the people that were giving feedback, and I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Like no offense, like no, but like everyone's got a fucking opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like, unless it's someone
you're telling me
unless it's someone who's like working WWE or have worked WWE and are known for being a stick man, or AEW, whatever. Like, I really couldn't give a fuck about your opinion is like just like everyone else's. Like, I'll take it on board. Like, I take everyone's opinion on board, but it doesn't mean I'm going to actually action it, because I actually might disagree. I just don't have the fucks to give to argue with you about it, to be completely fair.
But I feel like some people, sometimes there can be merit in feedback and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Where like I feel like sometimes you don't necessarily have to have been the top guy to understand like how the business works. And like case in point, like, Stevie Richards, like, is someone that I have the utmost respect for.
Yeah.
Love that guy to absolute death. And it's like funny. He's one of like, and I've said this to you plenty of times, he's probably one of the most intelligent people I've ever had a conversation with in my life, whether it's wrestling or outside of wrestling, just a very intelligent individual. But having a conversation with him, and it was like someone turned around and was like, oh, what would Stevie Richards know? He was never WWF champion.
You're an idiot. But he's been there. Like, he's done that. Like, he's been on the stick. He was actually, from what I've seen of his work, it's a pretty good promo. But my point is, what I'm trying to say is, everyone likes to act like they know something, or they've got experience, or they're like, they're better than what they actually are. My point is, like, I'll take your opinion on board, but I didn't ask for it. You know what I mean? I think I said that to you the first thing when you came to me and said, oh, this was the feedback I got. And I think I was being a bit of a prick to you that day. And I was like, I didn't ask for your fucking opinion, Piers. Like, I didn't ask for theirs either. So I don't really care. If you caught me on a bad day, that was probably my tone and my demeanor. And I can be like that a bit. But my point is, like, sometimes everyone's going to give you an opinion. You don't always have to take it. Like sometimes, just because they talk for the sake of talking to upnote themselves and make themselves sound better than what they actually are. Like I think for your first time out in front of a live audience that was streamed on a pay-per-view, I think you knocked it out of the park. Like, and I remember saying to you, sure, there's some little things, but like overall, you had the balls to A, get in the ring in front of a live audience, B, in the total spotlight. And you fucking owned it. You know what I mean? So for me, like winning, well done. Because a lot of people can't do that. Like a lot of people say that they can do that. And I can cut a promo and I've seen them and I'm like, that's fucking rubbish. Like, so, kudos to you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. But look, I just think that there's things now that I know that I wish I knew prior to then and to be able to do it better and to be able to execute it. And
it's fucking life.
But yeah, I mean, 100%. But like, actually, this is an interesting question. From Content Cat wanting to know, Vinnie, Vane, and Piers, what do you reckon about nutrition in conjunction with your gym routines, cut or bulk? We were actually just talking about this.
What's a fucking Content Cat? Is that a person?
I have no idea.
Is that that's their profile name? Oh, I was like, well, I didn't get what it was. Like, is that a brand or something? Sorry. Okay, I assume it's a person. What was the question? What my gym routine is?
I'll tell you what, Content Cat, if you want to send a super sticker, we'll answer any questions you want to ask. But we'll do it that way. But like getting into it, man, like you sort of said, like, we like where we've worked, the promotions we've worked, and what we've done together at certain promotions, but we're not being able to get there. What do you think it is like we're not able to get on that top, like that next level of promotion?
Oh, like as in like let's just call it like a higher grade Fed or something like that, like one of the top promotions in the country. Is that what you kind of getting at?
Oh, let's call it out for what it is. Like, let's say, you know what I mean? Like, I've had people go, why don't you guys go to PWA or Newey?
Oh, okay. Oh, look,
I mean? You cop that as well. Like, I've seen you cop that.
Yeah, I've copped that heaps. Look, the thing is, right, like I've tried doing the PWA thing. I went last year. I trained there for a few months. Like, I want to say there, I was like there once a week. It just didn't fit me. That's all I'm saying. Like, nothing against them. They do their thing. Whether I agree with like the way it is or not, like I don't really care. I like, bottom line to answer your question is there's a system in place, right? That if you want to be on those shows, you have to go, like, whether it's MCW or EPW or PWA, you've got to go through that system. And that system requires you to go to training, go and be seen by building rings and helping out and doing all that jazz. And that's just not something I want to do. Like, not the training part. The training part I've been training. I was doing, like, I think we spoke about it last time. I've been doing a lot of training with Kasai, the thing I liked with Kasai, I don't want to deviate, was that take his training. I went to his training, for example, right? And his training was more specialized in regards to, he looked at me, he knew what I was capable of, he knew what I was not capable of, and he knew the gaps in between. And he's like, this is what we need to do to make you a better performer. And I use the word performer, not wrestler. Okay. Like, it's not just a matter of, the technicalities of your footwork and, your holding, like your holds and all that crap. Like, it's as a performer, what do I need to do? My mannerisms, my body language, my selling, all that stuff. And I really like that. Whereas at PWA, like, what they do obviously works. They've produced, like you can't sit here and bag them. They've produced wrestlers who are on the world stage. So, like, they obviously do something right. But I just felt when I was going to those classes, it was more like regimented in regards to, we're going to run this spot today. And I get it all has a purpose and a process, but I think that's great if I was starting out as a beginner and going through that motion, like learning to wrestle from scratch. Given I've already done some tenure, wrestling, and, I've done some, like, I've got some, it's like, I think of it like when you go to uni, right? You might go to TAFE first, and then you go to uni, like, you don't need to do these courses because you've qualified through that at TAFE. It's like a bridging course. It's the same sort of thing. I just felt that training wasn't necessarily suited to me. And, like, I'll be very blunt and honest. I didn't have any interest at all in going and being seen by whoever runs the joint, like, whoever's in charge there, just to be like, oh yeah, he came and built our ring today, or, he came and helped out with this. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, if I've got free time on the weekend, I'm either working to get paid for, like, getting paid money, and I'm hanging out with my daughter. I'm not doing things to get in someone's good graces. That's not being disrespectful. I'm just saying, I'm a 35-year-old man. Like, I don't have time for that shit. And I think, with all respect intended, like, I feel confident enough in my ability as a performer, and what I bring to the table, to say that with any promotion in this country, like, you know what you get with me, and if that, like, and they're not saying I'm perfect, there's tons of room for improvement with me. Like, I know there's areas in my game that I'm like, you know better than anyone. I come back through that curtain, I'm like, that was shit, fuck this. Like, I'm livid with my performances sometimes, okay? But I know what I bring to the table. And if that is not, if any one of these feds don't see merit in that and what I bring, well, that's fine. That's, at the end of the day, I can safely say that's their loss. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think for a guy, I've said it to you before, I think for a guy who, and I don't mean to insult anyone with this, but for a guy who hasn't put in like 20% of the effort most of these guys have, I think my resume is pretty good. I think I've accomplished a lot for someone who goes at 20% compared to everyone else on the scene. And what I mean by 20% is like the investment. You know what I mean? The time people put into this to train and, be seen and make contacts and connections. I've always told you, Piers, it's not my priority. This is a hobby for me. It's a bit of fun. If I could take it further and there was the opportunity there, obviously I would. I'm not going to bullshit and say I don't care. Like, of course we want to get to the top, but I have to be real. Like, I've told you before, like, I like money, bro. I don't like being broke. I don't want to be broke. So my goal every day is to get up, make money, pay the mortgage, pay for the kid for school, give my family a good life, like, I'm about that life. Okay. Like, wrestling ain't going to do that. So I don't want to be like a 35 or 40-year-old guy. It's like, oh yeah, I chase the dream, because like at 40, not to say your life's over, but I want to be established by 40. I don't want to be on the downturn, but I want to be, safe. I don't want to be struggling in my later years of life. And coming from that ethnic background that I do, like, I want to, like, I'm not going to lie, I want to fucking spoil my kid. I want to give my kid everything. Like, the world is rubbish out there, bro. Like I'm a homeowner, like you're a homeowner, like it's fucking hard. Like every month, like the interest rates, the way, like even groceries, Piers, like you go to the shops and you buy like dinner, like to make dinner at home, you're like $70 in the hole. And it's like, bro, like, what did I get?
Like, you do like weekly groceries and we'll like spend $200 and it's like at the end of it, like, what did we really fucking
what
buy?
did we get? You get
like,
nothing. So
shit, it's like, fuck. You know what I mean?
No,
like, but that's like
it.
But that's where I feel like the world has sort of gone these days, where it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of just the inflation of everything. Like,
well, on that point, right? Time is money. Do you know what I mean? So to that point, if I'm not getting paid or I'm not like, I don't feel there's a benefit to me for giving up my time for free, I don't do it. So to answer your overall question, I think that's why you and I aren't booked on those like specific feds, is because we don't play by their rules or their system, and they've got their rules and their system, and that's fine. It just doesn't fit me. That's that. And like, before anyone jumps on this and says, oh, I'm criticizing them, or anyone that works there takes this personally, it's not a criticism. It's just simple math. Like, you guys expect X, Y, and Z. I'm not prepared to give that. Therefore, we aren't going to do business. It's really that simple. There's no hard feelings. There's no like, I'm not butthurt about it. I don't fucking care. Like, it enough. It's just like, like, fuck, I can't swim. So what do? I fucking stay out of the fucking pool. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. Yeah, but does that answer your question? That's why I think we're not there, because we don't do that stuff.
But I feel like for the most part, like, like like from what like everyone says to me, like from wrestling fans, go, man, you must like be living the dream, going from being a fan to working in the business. And for the most of the time, I was like, yeah, I give them the answer. It's like, yeah, it's great. But like for a lot of the stuff that I have seen, bro, like wrestling, man, people have got a long way to fucking go, bro. Like as far as just being decent human beings, bro, like the level of like that needs to improve, bro, but also just the fucking mindset of some of these fucking people, bro.
Yeah, look, it does. Like, I agree. Like, I don't want to rip on anyone or anything like that. Like, at the end of the day, like, Do you know what the funny thing is with this thing? Like most of the time, right? Every single person I've encountered in wrestling, like bar a handful, individually, are genuinely decent people. You know what I mean? It just seems to be when you get certain people together in a group, they become fucking retards. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to better describe it. Like, you just like, what the hell? It is what it is. And I think everyone's kind of just, like everyone's got their own goal, their own aspirations, and what they want to get out of this. You talked about, it must be awesome living the dream. If 14-year-old me could look forward and see what I was able to do. And for some people, they might look at me and be like, that's all he did is nothing. He's a nobody. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's their opinion. You're entitled to it. But
Absolutely.
for me, I'm very happy with what I've accomplished. And I think like the 14-year-old kid inside of me, like back then, he'd be super proud and super psyched that he was able to just get that far as he did here in Australia. Do I want more? Piers, I'd be lying to you if I said like, do I wish I could like give up like the real world and focus on wrestling 24/7 and go to like a MCW or a PWA every day and train? I fucking oath I wish I could. But I wish I could live that life. But I'm not 21. I'm not a kid. Like I got responsibility. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. But to those people that have done it and that do it today, like I take my hat off to you, man. Like, because you, like, to be fair, and this isn't a sexist thing, but you've got balls I don't have. You know what I mean? I don't have the balls to lay it all on the line like that and invest like that and do it. So I give credit to them. It's just not my choice in life.
For sure. But like, as far as, your sort of like stance on the business, like, if you can look in the glass ball, how much longer do you see yourself still being in the business?
You know what? I can't answer that because like since day one, like I was like, I just want to have one match.
Yeah.
And then it was, I just want to win a championship. But don't care what championship. I just want to hold a belt once. And then it was, I want to work in international. And then it was, I want to work different places. Cause like, I worked for AWE for like 4 years straight. I just only did AWE because like with work at the time, I was very new in my career and I didn't have the time for it. So for me, it's like AWE was perfect. It was like once a month, go to training once a week. It was great. But it doesn't end. And like, I'm like a freaking junkie. It's always like, when's the next hit? And like, I had a conversation with someone in the business about a week ago about this because he pulled me up on it and he's like, oh, why do you say you don't care, but I think you do? And it's like, I don't know, man. Like part of me doesn't care about wrestling much at all on some days. And then some days I do care. Same. I feel what I'm trying to learn here is like with myself is I think it's just, do I love it? Yeah, sure. Do I want to leave it sometimes? Because like, let's be honest, right? You look at your podcast, the past 3 months, it's had some of the most vile, negative fucking bullshit come out of this when you look at the people involved and you look at some of the situations that have happened. And it's like, why the fuck would I want to be a part of this? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the scene as it stands. And I'm not calling anyone, I'm not talking bad about anyone. I'm just saying some of the things that you read and some of the things that you can't, like some of the conversations you and I have had, like off the cuff, talking to you like the real you and the real me. Forget the characters and the bullshit, like the real human, right? And we sit and we're like, why the hell are we meddling with this crap? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not my circus, not my monkeys, but we go to the circus continuously. Do you know what I mean? So who's the idiot?
But you know what I love now, bro? Like, I love it now when I see some dumb fuck who wants to now, like, bro, like you see it on my social media, bro. We follow each other, right? Like some of the shit that I post, bro, and it's like someone else's comments and someone gets upset by those comments. Cool, bro, I get it. But don't sit there and put an underlining thread on me. You dumb fuck. Like, seriously, like it just shows that, as I said before, it just shows the fucking level of fucking morons that we deal with. You know what I mean? Inside of wrestling, bro, with some of these people who are just complete fucking idiots.
My dad always told me, bro, always. And it's funny, that must be a Leb thing. Like my dad and my best friend, they always told me, it's funny. It's the same thing. It must be a saying, but it's like, don't ever make a threat you're not willing to back up on the spot.
100%.
You know what I mean? So like, unless you're willing to back that threat up, don't talk shit. Do you know what I mean? Because like, you're going to end up in fucking trouble is all I'm saying.
But you know what? I even turned around and said to that person, you know what I mean? Oh, come on. And then that person was like, oh, no, back down. I was like, well, why are you fucking talking then? Shut the fuck up.
I've never, like, there's probably like a few wrestlers I've met. I think we've spoken about this before, but like, man, like wrestlers in general, like fucking bunch of pussies, eh? Like, seriously, like, come on, man. There's probably like 10 guys on the scene that are actually fucking legit badasses. The rest all act like they are. Like, come on, you can see how butthurt people get over certain things on the internet and like, you know, really, and then they act all tough. It's like, fuck off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who has time for this shit? Like, this is what I mean. You're asking me, like, when do I want to call it quits? Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, some days I'm like, I don't do this anymore. Like, I think I've even sat with you before a show. I think we're in, like, Gorilla, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing here, man? And then there's times when it's like, I love this shit. Let's fucking do this, you know, fucking pumped.
But to be honest, it's, you know, 9 times out of 10, that's the Vinnie vein that is at Gorilla before we go out, is that, hey, I'm fucking pumped, let's go do this. Not, oh, fuck, like...
Oh, it depends how I'm feeling on the day, man. Like, I'm so temperamental. I'm a pain in the ass. But, like, I don't know. Like, you know what the truth is? Like, I got to face facts, man. I'm 35, right? Like, I just turned 35. Like, WWE aren't coming for me. AEW aren't coming for me. You know, and I always said that I was never out to accomplish that anyway. And I don't know whether I told myself that just to like, I don't know. But I think as well, the reason I keep doing this is because it keeps me on the straight and narrow to a degree, like, because like it keeps me in the gym. Like, I work out because of wrestling. I eat right because of wrestling.
Of course,
you know, I don't get involved in like, and you know, like we all got friends and relos and stuff that, you know, do bad shit, I'm sure, but like it keeps me on the straight and narrow and out of that stuff. You know, it keeps me focused. You know, helps me, you know, do something that I think is worthwhile. Because like, what am I going to do if I don't do this? If I'm not doing this, I'll probably end up like racing. You know, I'm an avid F1 fan. I've been since I was a kid. Like, no, I'd probably get into karts. And the thing is then, like, that's another hobby, like another, like, and that's way more expensive than wrestling. And like, I think I want to get to that stage in my life now where I want to just enjoy time with my wife and my daughter. That's like, not like, oh, I've got this on this weekend, so I got to go and I'll be back like later. Like, you know, because like wrestling, it takes up a whole day. You know what I mean?
For real.
And then like, even like the gym, like I said, like I'd love to take some time off and just not work out, but I don't want to be a fat like guy either. So, you know, but I don't know, man. Like right now, the answer is just I'm riding the wave. I'm looking at what opportunities come my way. I'm enjoying the ride. Wrestling has presented me with so many opportunities, which I'm grateful for. You know, a lot of things like outside of just wrestling, like, you know, like things with, you know, doing, you know, magazines and, you know, radio and, you know, like just where it takes you with places and the people you meet. It's awesome. Bro. So I'm very grateful. And right now I'm just riding the wave, and there'll be a time where I'll bet there and I'll be like, I won't do this anymore. And that'll be it. There won't be any like, this is my last match and my last hurrah. It just, you'll know that other guy, we won't mention his name. He'll know, you know who I'm talking about. He'll know. Christian Chaos will know. And that'll be it. You know what I mean? Like, that'll be it. I'm done. And probably like, you know, like probably a few others that I talk to on that I talk to regularly, and that's it. You know, promoters obviously that I work for, but that'll be that.
Yeah, they may want to know.
They might want to know, but when I'm done, that's it. Like, I don't owe anyone anything. You know, I've always given 100% when I've been in the ring. You know, I really have, even if it hasn't been up to par. Like, I know that was as good as I was that day. You know, and even if it was an absolute dog shit match, like that was the best I could give you for that day, given whatever's going on in my life. Or, you know, like sometimes you can't switch off the real world when you go out there. As much as I wish it would take it away. Sometimes it's just some more important things that live upstairs. You know what I mean? Like you've sat there with me. I think it was before I think an FWA show. Like, what's wrong with you today? And I was like, I told you some personal shit, and I was you know, some, you know, X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, some days just, you can't, you know, like I can't, like, you know, with work in the real world, you're having a bad day, you take a sick day. Unfortunately, when you're doing this, there's no sick day. Like, you know, committed to
Well,
a
there
date.
is. It's just so you can pull out, but it's always like.
But
Then,
that's not like, unless I physically can't, like physically, because I'm
100%.
vomiting or like, I can't
Mm.
breathe or something. But like, I've not
Yeah.
been like that. So you just got to do your best.
100%, man. So after being involved in wrestling for now, what, going on close to 10 years?
I don't like saying that, because here's why. When people say I've been in the business like 7 years or 10 years, I've been around it for 10 years, but I
Yeah.
don't like, I worked maybe 30 matches in 4 years. No, probably even less, bro. Probably like 20 or 15. So like, I can't say I've been in the business for 10 years, because
Yeah,
my skill level isn't that of a person who's been in the business for 10 years. I'll tell
for
you
sure.
that first and foremost.
Yeah.
So, because like, I worked for AWE for like the first 4 years I was involved. Yeah. Like 4 or 5. And then I was training there. And, I wasn't wrestling every week. I was wrestling once a month, once every 6 weeks. Like, that's
Yeah.
not 10 years worth of experience. Like, I think if you look at my record somewhere online, one of those websites, I think it's got me listed at like maybe 110, 120 matches. That's nothing. Like, that's
Yeah,
nothing, bro. That's not 10 years worth of experience. So,
for sure.
like, have I been around it for 10 years? Sure. But am I at that level of someone who's been around it 10 years? God, no. But what were you saying anyway? I digress.
No, I was just going to say, you've been around it for a number of years, and you've definitely seen the changes in the culture in wrestling. How do
Yeah,
you find it now compared to what it was like when you sort of first started breaking in?
I don't like it. That's completely honest with you. I think it is full of the most, and I'm not saying everyone is like this, okay? But like, I feel that it is the most hypocritical, most woke wannabe, like fucking everyone's a fucking social media warrior. Um,
Yeah,
I hate it. I think it's toxic. I think that the same people that sit here and preach about social justice and jump on every single indiscretion and want to hang everybody that does something wrong in our scene here in Australia are the same fucking people who are like bullying behind closed doors, who are fucking like, they show this, but they're really like C bombs, when people aren't looking. That's my take on it, to be completely fair. There's very few real honest people in this business. I think it's all bullshit. I think it's a fucking like, but then again, the world has turned into bullshit in this day and age, to be completely fair. Like, I got to be politically correct with everything I say. I can't even be fucking me these days. Do you know what I mean? I can't be the real me, because I got to be careful of who I offend. Back when I started, right? I'll tell you the guys who were around when I started, right? So obviously Psychotic, right? He trained me, yeah? He's been around, old school. Blake Stone, Mr. Exclusive, Luke Knight, Phil, like Birdman, fucking who else? Tristan Slade was around. Cut my teeth against Tristan Slade. Big T. I don't know for those guys that would remember Big T. The Big Bad Nick, the Masked
yeah,
Mauler. These are guys that were big at that time. Like, like they were hardened guys, that they weren't like soft. There was none of the there was none of this bullshit. There was none of this like, the whole premise is, if they're out to offend you or hurt you, they're going to do more than call you a name or say something on the internet that, you know what I mean? Like, they'll go and hurt you for real, like physically, they'll cause you pain. I feel that today everyone is so sensitive, and like, it's not a scene for me. But then again, like, it's reflective of the world. It's a sign of the times. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes and no, though, bro. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily agree. I think wrestling's, like, to be honest, a lot more in that sort of bubble than the rest of the world, to be honest.
okay, let's be real then, yeah? Let's
Okay.
look, like, let's break it down, right? And I'm probably gonna
Cool.
get called an asshole for this, but I don't really care. Look around in the wrestling scene, right?
Yeah.
Look at the educational levels of, like, don't I say, dare I say a lot, but there are some very educated people in wrestling, like in
Sure.
wrestling, who have like higher education degrees and proper jobs, like, you know what I mean? But then there are a lot of people who like aren't on that socioeconomic level. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I don't know how to explain. I don't know what the word is, but like, the education and like fucking general fucking, like, common sense isn't there. Do you know what I mean? Like it's lacking. You know what I mean? You got to remember, wrestling, it always has been a cheap man's form, or a form of cheap entertainment. It is nothing sophisticated about it, to be completely fair. Like, you know, I'm not saying it's not polo, it's not fucking, you know, like a Formula One racing where, you know, there's money behind it and money backing it, so you're getting a higher level of person involved. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
That's what I'm saying. So what do you expect with the people you're dealing with? Do you know what I mean? Like, what did you expect?
Yeah, bro.
I'm not ripping on people. I'm not giving anyone. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm just pointing out facts are facts. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you go and compare, like, you know, professional soccer, or right, like there's a higher caliber, like, of athlete most of the time in those things, because it's backed by financial, you know, like institutions and investors and whatnot. There's money behind it. Yeah. Exactly. So there's a higher level of expectation among the people that are involved, i.e. the players. You know, like there's a certain way they've got to act and certain things they can and cannot say and do. Like, you know, they're professionals.
There's big money involved.
But the fact of the matter is, here at our level, you know, it's not monetized. It's run by, like, individual people run their own feds. Do you know what I mean? Like, this guy's a bricklayer, this guy's a bus driver, this guy's, you know, lawyer. We're all different. But the fact of the matter is, like, it's not financed and no one's held to a high regard. So it attracts just about anybody. You know, anyone can do it. You know, everyone's a wrestler. You know, like I said, I'm not ripping on. I'm just trying to compare apples and apples. That's why I think we have a lot of the problems in the scene. And this is why the culture is shit, because just about everyone from every walk of life is involved. Whereas if you compare it to a different kind of sport at that higher, because this is the highest level here in Australia. Let's be real. Like, there's no grassroots. It's sort of this, and this is the level of wrestling here. But other sports and that, they have like the grass level, then they have the semi-pros and the pros. And when you get to that level higher up, they cut out the bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Like, they cut out the fucking the idiots, and, like, you know, there's no place for them. But here, we welcome everyone. That's the thing. That's part of the problem.
Yeah. I mean, am
I making sense? I'm sure it's going to get misconstrued, but
no. You're making sense, bro. Like, one of the things I want to just go back and touch on, and you sort of said, you know, the most progressive are usually the one giving the more backhanded sort of thing, and it's kind of like it speaks so true, man. Like, it speaks so true. The people screaming the most and going and bouncing on their phones and screaming injustices, man, they're the ones that have got the biggest skeletons in their closets. I mean, you can go and call out this person and that person, this person, but you got no problem working for a sex pest. You got no problem
100%.
working.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
You got no a promoter's got no problem booking another sex pest and a potential, you know, kitty fiddler on his shows, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Because it's wrestling, bro. Like, in what fucking, like, bro, but you know what I mean? All this little level of bullshit, like, it just needs to do better. And I feel like, even in the sense, like, one of the things that really was eye-opening to me, bro, is, and please tell me if you think I'm wrong here, but the level of people with a certain forms of autism or Asperger's that are involved
in through the roof, bro.
Like, and I'm not saying that to be insulting. I'm not saying that to make fun or anything.
No, but
like
facts are facts. But that's honestly, how it is. That's how it is.
I feel like that is how it is in a lot of cases. And I feel like mental health and that sort of thing isn't really protected or cared for or nurtured for, but like everything else we can sort of be on board for, and we can sit there and pat each other on the back and be like, they say wrestling's for everyone, bro. Bullshit, man. Wrestling's for everyone as long as you fit in with us. If you don't fit in with us, you don't fit in with this, what we're doing here. Nah, sorry, man. You're on the outer.
Okay, I agree wholeheartedly. Number one, the mental health concept has been so badly prostituted in pro wrestling, it's not even funny. Everyone plays the mental health card that you're actually taking away from people with actual mental health problems. The bottom line is, you wake up in the morning, right? You have issues, problems, whatever. So does every single fucking other person on the planet. That doesn't make you a mental health survivor or patient. Like, we all have issues. Do you know what I mean? Now, mental health is important, but people fuck up and then they hide behind mental health a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? I hate that. Okay. Because like, there are actual people out there that like you're giving mental health, like you're taking away from the actual people that have mental health problems. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm a little bit, I guess what I mean, like when we talk about shit like this now, man, it's negative, and like, this is things that I hate about this business. Do you know what I mean? It's really frustrating because it's like I said to you before, and I'm not, wait, sorry, I just saw something come up. What does that say? Sure. I forgot my fucking point. Like
we're talking about mental health issues and people sort of claiming like, you know, they're going through the life struggles.
Oh yeah. No, I was just saying, like, it's so much negativity and so much crap that it makes me question, why am I still involved in this shit? Like, I don't need this. Like, you know, like I got bigger problems, you know, bigger fish to fry. And like, I don't want to, like we were saying, like I don't want to be around this or these kinds of people. To be completely honest, call me arrogant, call me whatever the fuck you want. It's my life. I can choose to do what I want to be, who I want to be around. And if this doesn't fit me, it's goodbye. That's why, Piers, I hang out with you. I hang out with, you know, what's his name? I'm not gonna, you know who, you know, Sonny, Christian Chaos. You know, man, even Sammy Russo, you know, people give Sammy Russo a lot of shit, but you know, Sammy Russo outside of pro wrestling, bro, is a fucking gentleman, first class. You know what I mean? Like, he's loyal to a T, wears his heart on his sleeve. Do you know what I mean? But like that guy, if you want to look at family man, you want to look at someone you want to be like, you know, in the real world, you know, like I don't care about what he said or done online with certain things. I'm not going to get into that. Okay. But every interaction he's had with me, right? He's been an absolute fucking gentleman. Do you know what I mean? Like an absolute gentleman.
Me too.
You know, taught me a few life lessons. Now, I don't always agree with him, and he'll tell you that firsthand. We've had so many disagreements over the years, but you know, like he's a good dude. You know, he's someone I hang around with. But like a lot of the people on the scene, Piers, I don't hang out with them. I don't make the time for them. You know, there's a lot of people I do. I can't mention them all, but like majority, nah, man. You know what I mean? Like you won't see me, like even you and me, like we've been like, let's get together. Let's, you know, get the kids together. Let's have lunch. I was like, fuck, like who's got the time? Do you know what I mean? Like when I see you, it's because it's at a show, and that's like that's my time away. Some people gamble, some people drink. We'll go do this.
I'm now getting to the point of like what I do is like where I work and stuff like that with wrestling. It's like I'm a bit more selective of like, because you know what, I want to go and be around and people and have fun. I want to be around people that I like and feel like it's cool. And like, that's where, you know what I mean? And that's where I feel like in a lot of cases in certain places in wrestling, like you don't really get that vibe.
You don't. I don't disagree. Like there's places I've wanted to work that I don't want to work anymore. Like I don't even want to try to work there just because I feel it's toxic and I feel that it's, you know, like I just don't like the politics involved. And like I've always struggled to fit in. To be completely fair, like throughout my entire life, I've struggled to fit in. I'm extremely introverted even as an adult, and I like when I say struggle, you got to make an effort to struggle. I think at a certain age, I stopped making an effort. Like, you know, I used to care and want to try and fit in and go with the grain, but I got to a certain age. It's like around 30 where I was like, nah, you know, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, bro. I think you get to the point where you just grow up and you just realize, I am who I am.
I think it was when I had a kid, to be completely honest with you, because like I know it's so cliche, but you just don't care anymore about the stupidity, you know what I mean? Or the bullshit. You just want to focus on one thing. You know, that's what's most important to you. You couldn't care less about the other stuff.
Well, that's the thing, bro. I got 3 kids myself. So like my time away from my kids is like, yeah, dude, I'll be selective on where I go and who I'm going to be spending that time around, bro. And what opportunities that I do take is You know what I mean? Because it seems like a worthwhile opportunity to take. But like for the most part, bro, like being away from my kids and family on a Saturday for 8 to 12 hours is, I don't know. I'd like to sort of spend more time doing with them than doing, and that's why I've sort of scaled it back a little bit, I think, this year.
But you know what, man? Like, it's your first priority. You know, like like if that's what you want to do, you want to scale it back. And you know what? Like, why shouldn't you be selective? If it doesn't bring you happiness, it doesn't bring you joy. What's the point? Like, why?
100%.
You're not getting paid like, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars for this. Like, bro, the pay's nothing in this day and age for with wrestling. Like, it's fucking peanuts. Like, let's be real. You know, like when you compare it to what you make in your day job, it's laughable, right? Like, let's be honest.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
So if it's not making you happy, what's the point?
And that's why I've sort of just said, look, I'm just working with you on wrestling shows. If there's anything else that pops up that sparks my interest, I'll do it. But besides that, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, no, like it just doesn't seem really worth my time to go and, you know, do certain things.
No, I don't disagree with you. I feel the same way. I think like sometimes it's just, I can't bother for that today. I think I'll just stay home. You know, all right, I see that's coming up and it's like, this is who we want you to work. I don't want to work that person. The beautiful thing is it's not my job, so I can be as selective as I want. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not depending on the paycheck, you know, the money from wrestling. So if I don't want to do it, I'm just not going to do it. Yeah, it's great. It's good. It's good. Like I said, it's a hobby. If you treat it like a hobby, you'd probably be happier. I think the problem with you and me is that we say it's a hobby, but we care too much. Do you know what I mean? And that's the issue we have, because you get too invested in it because we care about what we're doing. And like, you know, we don't want it to be shit. We don't want to just make up the numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. And like, I feel like but like I said, for the most part as well, like it's, you know, when you go to a show and you go and you're around that environment, you want it to be a positive, happy environment. If it's causing stress and, you know, like frustration to you, then you got to then evaluate the situation, right?
100%. You know, like, it's not just that, but like you go back to that before where it was like, you are who your friends are. I was always told that, you know, I don't necessarily agree with it, but like, if you buy into that culture, and like we've like, let's be real, look around the scene now, there's toxic elements in just about every fed, and people can fucking deny it all they want. It's the honest truth. Okay. The bottom line is, if you hang with these people, you become these people. Okay. And then what you accept and what you tolerate as a human being, you know, blends into you. Okay. And sometimes, that's what I was saying to you before, I ask myself, is it worth it? I'm not ripping on people or the kind of people that I'm not trying to sound better than anybody, but I have standards for myself. Okay. 100%. There's a certain caliber of person I want to be or strive to be. Okay. If X, Y, and Z don't help me get there, then I don't need to fucking be here. Okay. Like, that's the bottom line. You know, you want to, like they say, you know, there's a saying, it's on Instagram, and that it's like, if you're hanging out with people who are bitching, gossiping, you know, and talking about bullshit, you know, change groups, go talk with people who are talking about their future investments, building stuff, leaving a legacy. 100%. And like, people will say, oh yeah, but we're talking about building a legacy in wrestling. Like, fuck that. Like, let's be real. Like, for all those people that are building it to make it something's viable and an income here, my hat off to you. That's great. I wish you well. I'm not going to bank on that. Okay.
Yeah, 100%, bro. But you know what? It's funny. We talk about culture and you are who you are and stuff like that. It's like, it amazes me to a certain degree, the certain arrogance that I see from some people in the scene. And it's like, fuck, really, dude?
People probably say that about me, but so like, what do you want me to tell you?
Nah, dude, no. Like, it's funny. Like, I'll tell you something that happened recently, right? I did a show and I was doing commentary, and I went backstage, and I spoke to one of, you know, Australia's top stars, and you know, trying to get some information,
like one of those ones. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so I get some information about your match, blah, 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 blah. He's like, yeah, cool, gonna do blah, blah, blah. And then I said, okay, cool. Yeah, what's the finish that you're doing? And he's just like, looked at me and goes, you'll see it out there, brother. Like, really smug. I'm just like, Are you
Okay.
fucking like? Are you a mark for yourself here, bro? Or like,
Probably.
what the fuck? Like,
Okay, so let me ask you this, right? Let's
yeah,
assume, you called it out there, right? You'll see it when it's out there. Now, let's say you didn't know what the fuck it was. Yeah. Would that
which is
same
why.
person come backstage now because you haven't been able to, if it was a he, I'm just going to assume it was a he.
Yeah,
You haven't been able to put his finish over, right? Because you fucked it up.
yeah.
He's going to come back and rip you a new one, right? Because you fucked up. Yeah. But if he didn't tell you what it was when you asked, because you asked for a reason, fuck him. Okay, and fuck his ego. Okay, completely.
I just thought it was fucking hilarious. I'm going, look at you, you fucking little idiot.
Yeah, nah, man.
Like that was my reaction. I was just like, you like, oh, what a fucking cockhead you are. Like, that was just my reaction.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Let me tell you something. This is a line I have memorized for all those kinds of people in life, where it's it's their dreams and fucking I'm the best and all this and that, and you're better than everyone and everything you do is amazing. Remember this, yeah? Skinny cap, one equal. Okay, because that's what your future is going to be. All right, that's my coffee order. Remember it. Write that down. Okay. Fucking idiot.
I don't think you're arrogant, bro.
I'm extremely arrogant.
You reckon?
No. But my point is, arrogance is great, right? My point, my reasoning behind saying that to you just then is really simple, right? Arrogance is great; it'll get you so far, yeah. But eventually, if you're not humble and you act like that constantly, and this is, I'm assuming, is in a professional setting, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to get you that far, bro. Because like in the real world, okay, it doesn't work like that, okay, at all. You can't be that arrogant to the people who are trying to help you. Okay, like these are the people that are trying to help you to make you look like the star that you are. You walk around with that arrogance and you be a fucking cock like that, man, you're going fucking nowhere.
Bro, I just thought it was funny because it was like, to me, it's like, you're a fucking dickhead. Like, I was just like, hilarious. You're a fucking dipshit. Like, but like,
Don't
that's
worry about it, bro.
Oh, no, dude, I don't know. It was like, to me, it was hilarious. Like, I thought, wow, you're that much of a fucking mark. Like, cool.
For yourself.
Yeah, you're a mark for yourself. Good on you, bro. That's
and this wasn't like he wasn't working you in character or anything. Like this was like legit, yeah. Like this was like for real, like real person.
He was trying to take he was trying to take the piss, and I'm just like, whatever, fuckhead. Like, I mean, if I cared about your opinion, maybe I'd be upset about it, but I honestly don't really give a shit. So
nah, fuck it. Don't. I would ask you who it was, but like, don't give him the fucking rob, bro. It's not worth it.
Nah. All I'll say is, bro, just make sure any fans watching, go and check out their shirts. They got 4 mediums, 1 small still left. So go and check that.
Wait, I know who you're talking about now. Oh, you funny prick. Oh, bro, we're going to hell. I swear to God, you and me are both going straight to hell. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Far out.
Not really, bro. Like, fucking honestly, man. Honestly. So, but nah, dude, I feel like, I'm just saying for what it is, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I can say what I want on this platform, right?
Hey, you know what, man? It's your platform. You can say whatever you like, okay? And like, I've always had the opinion, if you don't like it, don't watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfollow, unsubscribe, whatever. Like, who cares? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's like, not everyone's going to agree with everyone on this planet, but just really simple. Like, there's so much I see online that I don't like. So you know what I do? I hit unfollow. I hit don't like. There's no need for me to comment and give my 2 cents. You know what I mean? Like, get on with life. Put your phone down. Go outside. Explore the world. Fucking people think they can change the world from their little corner on their little telephone. You want to change the world? Get up and actually fucking do something. Okay.
Yeah, do something productive with your fucking time instead of being a troll.
100%, man.
See, that's the thing, man. You know what?
I hate trolls. I hate the bullying, bro. The bullying, fucking Piers, like, can't stand it, bro.
But again, that's what we talked about before, bro. Where we touched on before. Sorry, was like certain things is like we talk about the most progressive being the biggest bullies.
Yeah, 100%.
Having the most skeletons in their closet, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wasn't it a show we were at recently and someone told us, it's like, yeah, we only watched this show to shit on it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. And I think we called that person out and was like, right, so you have nothing better to do on a Saturday night than you and your little cronies getting together and making fun of people that are actually trying to do something. Like, that's pretty fucking sad. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and you know what? That whole thing with people that like I know it happens. It's been happening for years where a certain group of people will go to a show just to mock, just to laugh, just to take some snaps and send it to their little clique of group. Like I've heard countless stories of this from numerous people. And I just think, bro, like, are you guys that fucking sad? Like, do you guys not have anything better to do with your time? Because, like, you know what, whether they're better than those people in the ring or not is not the point. Yeah. If you can see something that they're doing is wrong and you are the better performer, go and help them. Go and pull them aside confidentially and say, hey, let me help you with this. Or do you mind if I give you some advice or an opinion? Like I said, some people can stick their opinion in their ass, but if that person feels you've approached them well, they'll probably take it on board. And it's funny because it's the same group of people that sit there and say how they want to make wrestling for everyone and that they want to make it a better place, and the same people that want to, make it bigger and better, but they're literally being hypocritical and shooting themselves in the foot by doing that. Like, I don't care how bad a product is, I will not mock it, or mock that person, because you don't know, like, it takes a lot of balls to get in the ring and do something. And you know what? Like, the person that they were mocking, that person in particular, that guy does that show all by himself. Now, even you and I have had disagreements about how that show is run and the way things work. And, like, he could be doing things totally different, okay? But at the end of the day, we're a fucking spoke on the wheel, okay? If we don't like it, we can leave. All right? That's the bottom line. And it's not our money. But I'm not going to go and rip on him and make fun of him and tease him, because it's not proper, okay? Because it's just not how you do things. And I look at the guys that sit there and tease and make fun, and it's like, all right, bro, we've all been guilty. Like, we've all been dickheads in our lives, yeah? We've all been dipshits, right? And we all say things behind closed doors and in group chats. But when people start to know that this is what you're talking about and it's becoming public knowledge that this is what you do, fuck you. Okay, because I know these guys, they've come to shows that I've been on and they've laughed at me. Like, I've seen photos of me in ring and them in the background fucking giggling their asses off, yeah? But not one of those motherfuckers have the balls to come up to me and say anything to my fucking face, okay? So fuck you again.
But what I find funny about it is, like, some of these fucking people that do this shit, like, I've seen it at one show I was at, and, like, I'm sitting there looking at some of the people there and I'm going, really? You're gonna shit on someone's wrestling ability? Fucking, like, I almost fucking was like, what the fuck? Are you that fucking delusional? Like, that was my, I'm like, what the? But then it's like, are you that fucking sad? You got nothing better to do to come?
But that's exactly my point. On a Saturday night or a Friday night, like, bro, fucking, like, these people that do this, you sit there. You buy a pay-per-view, right? You spend your money to watch a product that you don't like, simply to rip on people and have lols in the group chat. Like, you're fucking sad. Go out, get someone, get a girlfriend, get a boyfriend, fucking get it wet, do something else, dickhead. Like, seriously, like, it's fucking embarrassing. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're a fucking loser. You need something bigger. I don't care how great you are at wrestling or whatever. Overall, in fucking the scorecards of life, yours reads fucked. You can't change my mind.
Jesus, damn, bro. Like,
nah, man, because I don't like the bullying, okay? I don't fucking like it, okay? Like, Piers, I take bullying fucking personally, okay? Because, like, I hate to say this again and refer to this, but, like, ever since I had a daughter, I've been a little bit more touchy on these things. And I'm saying I haven't always been a good boy. I've been a cunt too. Okay, like, I've been, like, sorry, I don't know if I could say the C word, but I've been an ass at times too. I haven't always done the right thing yet. But as I've gotten older, I've progressed and learned, you know what, this isn't the right way to be. Sure, Piers, you and I might have a conversation in private and fucking joke about certain things, behind closed doors. But, like, no one outside of you and I hear that conversation. If I can hear this conversation and people can see that I'm actively mocking them, I got a fucking problem. Okay, like, it's not nice. Okay,
but
like,
I don't really feel like we've ever had a conversation where we've openly mocked someone. Like,
no, I might give an opinion, but not mock.
Yeah,
okay, like,
and that's the difference, bro. Like, it's just, and as I said earlier, man, like, the whole I feel mental health side of things is like wrestling needs to do better as far as understanding and being a little bit more accepting and kinder to those people. And I had that thought, bro, as soon as I became a dad, where it's like, man, you know what? Like if one of my kids has some kind of condition, I just hope that the world's a little kinder to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just the way I look at it. So I try and put out that positive energy to people like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. I don't like it. I don't have much respect for the people that do that, and that's sort of why I don't want to work certain places or do certain things. Because I can get into this all day with you, right? With those certain people, because like you see them online, they're always the first ones to advocate for anything like like bullying, mental health. But then you see what they do, and the funny thing is, a lot of these people individually are actually nice people. When you put them in a certain group of people, it becomes toxic, and I just don't want fucking part of it. And you know what, like I don't care if this thing, like I said, honest to God, whatever I've said on this, if it gets me unbooked or I don't wrestle a match again, I really couldn't care. Like honestly, I've done it. Like I've done what I wanted to do. I've done what I set out to do. No one can take that away from me. You know what I mean? I'd rather walk away like for being true to my values and who I am than fucking change and adapt to fit in with a bunch of fucking dickheads. Okay, like nah, bro, not happening.
Yeah, bro. No, I'm with you, man, and I understand that, bro. And I feel like that's kind of the way that I've sort of feel about it. You know what I mean? As well for the longest time now, where it's like, bro, I'm just gonna be a good human being to people, and like if I see some bullshit, bro, I'm just gonna like, bro, bullshit's bullshit, bro. Like I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, I was at a show like a couple months ago, bro, and someone made some sort of comment about like whatever it was about a certain person and called him a name, and it was not even part of the conversation. And I fucking checked that person, bro. Like I
know what you're talking about. I
had no fucking qualms, bro. I was like,
yeah, but that's the pot calling the kettle black, bro. Believe me.
Exactly. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, honestly, bro. Honestly, who the fuck are you, motherfuckers, bro?
Like, I just think, like, overall, I know it sounds like, oh, world peace, but like, everyone just needs to fucking do better. Like, even me, I need to do better. You need to do better. Like, we really need to do better as a group. You know what I mean? As a collective, because if we do want to make this scene better and make it viable and sustainable in regards to actually being able to fucking make money from it. Like our professionalism doesn't exist. Like I say this all the time. Everyone's easy to say I'm a professional wrestler. You're act nothing but professional. Do you know what I mean? Like you're far from it. Professional is not, oh, I came to the show and I shook everyone's hand. That makes me a professional. No, it makes you, I don't even know the fucking word, but I hate that. Okay. Like, and I'm going to tell you, no. I'm going to tell you now why. Okay. I'm not into that whole, I get to the venue and I shake everyone's hand. I don't. Okay. And I'll tell you why. When I go to work on a regular day, no matter what you do for a living, you don't walk around your workplace and shake everyone's hand before you start your job. Yeah. You get to work. Right now, as I encounter people throughout the day in the event, of course, I say hello. If you walk past me, I walk, how you going? How you been? Good. But I don't need to go and do the whole shaking hand thing. Okay. I think it's silly. I don't agree with it. I'm not going to do it. When I pass you, I will say hello to you. Okay. But unless like I walk in, I talk to you, it goes fucking 20 minutes. I talk to this guy, it goes 10 minutes. I put my bag down, like I'm not going to go, oh, hey, how you going? And interrupt someone talking in their match, trying to plan something. I don't know what stresses that bloke's going through right now. Okay, that guy could be stressing out about his match. It doesn't even mean to be like, hey, I just want to make sure you know that I said hello. When I cross you and you're working this way, hey, man, how you been? Good. I don't need to shake hands, but I acknowledged you. That's it. That's how it goes. Like I don't agree with any of that.
This is just an old school wrestling tradition, though.
Well,
I try and I'll go around and if I see people, I'll go and shake people's hands and stuff like that and say hello.
But I'm not going out of my way, like you're on the opposite side of the building. Make sure I come and say hello to you. Like when I see you, I'll say hello to you.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm not going to go track people down just to shake their hand and say hello. Like, it's fucking weird, bro.
Yeah, man. As I see you, I say hello. Like I just never got that. I never agree because you don't do that in the real world. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then this is what I mean. Because people think, oh, he's professional because he shook everyone's hand. No, bro. You want to be a professional? Fucking act like it. Like, mind your P's and Q's. Okay, get some respect. Show some manners. Let me tell you something about professionals. Do you see professional wrestlers go to another professional wrestling show and sit in the crowd and make fun of the workers performing. Do you see that?
No.
Exactly. So those ones that claim to be professional that go and do that.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Okay.
It's just fuck them, bro.
Okay. Another thing, right? Does a professional work for free? Okay. Does a professional go and do things and, give up their time and their labor for free, for no pay, even if they're not on the show? They don't. Believe me. So the word professional, we really need to put that in check if we're going to call ourselves professional, because I could write a book on 100 reasons why professional wrestlers are not professional.
Bro, honestly, you've hit the nail on the head, bro. Like, you look at it where it comes from, and I told you this from the fight show, bro. Like, when I go and work at fight shows, bro, after the fucking fights, bro, you don't see the fighters from the red corner and blue corner hanging out, fucking breaking the ring down.
No.
The cage thing, bro. There's a crew that come in and do all that shit.
Look, I understand in the wrestling game, it's not the same market. We're not making the same amount of money that the fight game is. I totally get that. And I get we've got to help with the ring and all that jazz.
Yeah,
like you go to Melbourne, you don't touch the ring. Certain feds I work for here, they're like, the promoter's like, you don't do the ring. Like, I've paid a group to do the ring. And I know I get offside a bit with that because I won't do it. If I need to do it, like, look, I'm the first guy. If we're pushing time and I know doors are opening and it's not done, I'm going to get my hand, roll my sleeves up and do what I need to do. But if I'm not paid to do it, I'm not going to fucking do it. Okay. Like, it's really simple. Take it or leave it. If I'm asked and it's part of my booking, it's like, hey, we need your help with the ring and I agree to it, then yeah, I'll help you do it. Of course. But like, sometimes as well, bro, I just want the extra 2 hours at home before I got to come. Do you know what I mean? 100%. I want to send some emails. I want to do some work. I want to do something. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have a coffee with my wife, whatever. It's my business. Okay. But if I choose to do that, I choose to do that. If I choose not to, don't book me. Whatever.
What a Vinnie. DJ Sonic in the crowd.
Oh, DJ. I love DJ. DJ. You know what? Can we talk about DJ for a second?
Let's talk about DJ for a second.
One of the most underrated fucking talents in this country.
100%, bro. 100%.
Like, I don't like him. Can't stand him.
No, he's
I call him every name under the sun when he answers the phone. But the guy is an amazing worker. Okay, like, I think he's good. I think he something he has that you can't teach, where he just resonates with the crowd. Do you know what I mean? I think he's a wealth of knowledge, and I think he's so underutilized. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because he doesn't play politics. He knows what he's worth. He has the guys. You know how talented the guys. The guy's a muso, legit paid professional musician. Not I'm a muso, I'm aspiring. No. The guy's paid to do gigs, right?
100%.
Like drummer. I'm pretty sure it's a drummer. The guy can DJ. That's legit. The guy can wrestle. The guy's, qualified in the fitness industry to do what he does. That guy knows his worth. You know what I mean? And he knows, like, you know what? You're not going to pay me to do what I need to do. I'm not going to play your games, get stuffed. And he knows what he brings to the table. That guy, when we do shows, he has such a massive fan base, but no one wants to utilize him. That's when you know this business isn't a business. It's a vanity project. Because if I was a booker, based on the shows I've done with DJ, where I've worked him or I've been on the card with him, and I go out to the ring and I say, fuck, every kid's wearing a DJ Sonic t-shirt, or, like, it's full of DJ Sonic fans. From a business standpoint, why isn't this guy getting booked? Do you not like money?
Well, I mean,
no, it's a vanity project. Okay. It's literally like, did you play by the rules? Did you join the political clique? No, that's why you're not booked, buddy. But I love you for what it's worth, okay? I think you're great.
Oh, man, DJ is cool, man. I think I said to you, it's like, he's the guy that if your daughter, like, when she's going to get married, brings a guy like DJ Sonic home, you'd be like, yeah, I'm not mad about that.
I can tell you now, jokes aside, right? This is me talking to DJ. Yeah. Like, DJ, for me, bro, top husband, right? Top father, top friend. Okay,
100%. Bro. Couldn't agree.
Like, forget wrestling. Couldn't give a fuck about wrestling when it comes to DJ. Like, forget it. He's a great worker, but his personality and who he is, like, he's one of the few guys I would literally, like literally like I'd do anything for. If he rang me, I fucking drop everything, I'll go. You know what I mean? In a heartbeat.
100%, bro. Just one of
I'll
those
probably
people.
smack him around a bit too, because he needs a bit of a fucking wake up, like, you know, like remember who the fuck you are, DJ. Like I gotta tell him that a bit, but he's a good kid.
Nah, man, he's all right, bro. Hey, man, we got to be careful, bro. We got to be careful.
Why?
We don't put people over here on this podcast.
Oh, that's right. You just bury people. Isn't that the consensus now? Get your shovels, baby. Start digging.
Yeah, baby, that's how we do it. Don't worry, DJ. Next week we're going to be shooting on you, brother. But man, as we sort of start to wind down, bro, like
I don't want to wind down. Keep going.
You don't want to wind down? You want to keep going?
No,
I'll keep going, bro. I'll do this all night long, baby.
You got anywhere to be?
I got nowhere to be, bro, except here in a fucking fake.
Keep talking.
Let's go. All right, man. So, like, dude, what about the? Did you see CM Punk got fired from AEW?
Oh, I popped up somewhere on my feed. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, he got fired.
Bro, so he got fired because he had an altercation with like Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And if you don't know who Jack Perry is, he's Luke. The
90210 guy. Yeah.
So like the memes that are going around now about Jack Perry being like the face of the guy that like.
But wait, what happened? What like in a nutshell? What happened?
So basically, before Punk went out for his all-in match in England, Jungle Boy went up to him and confronted him because Jungle Boy wanted to use real glass in a segment, and like CM Punk said no or whatever the fuck it was. And then so they had an altercation. Apparently, Punk threw a punch and put like Jack Perry in a guillotine choke or some shit like that. And it was a bit of a pull apart, but yeah, they fired CM Punk for it. And
are they always fighting backstage at AEW? I always hear that.
I don't watch the product, bro, but like for the most part, bro, I find it so entertaining. Like Tony Khan, bro, he's got to be the most entertaining fucking person in the world, and I feel like he's just gone and listened to like Jim Cornette, fucking Vince Russo, Conan, and all these guys in the past week since All In happened, bro, and he's just gone, man, they think I've got no balls. Fuck them. I'm going to fire CM Punk.
Right.
It's going to cost me millions, but I'm going to fucking do it, because that's what like the guys on that level were saying, going like, Tony's got no fucking balls. Like he wants everyone to get along. He's playing fucking, collective fucking, treating wrestlers like that, his action figures. And it's like in a perfect world, he wants everyone to get along and everyone to like him. But like, they're saying it's like he's never been smartened up.
Like what? CM Punk's never been smartened up.
No, Tony Khan. But basically, CM Punk got fired for the investigation. But I think it was like from.
But what's your question with it? Do you want my opinion on it, or
talking about it, bro? Like I'm just throwing it out there. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think that they should have? Like, do you think both parties should have been terminated in this instance?
No, I do not. Like, guys. People fight, okay? I'm not saying I condone it, but it happens, okay? At the end of the day, it was probably a little scuffle, okay? Now, I don't know who did the Jungle Kid want Punk fired? Did he request he be fired, or we don't know his take on it?
I don't know, bro, but you got CM Punk and you got Jack Perry.
Exactly. As a businessman, right? Am I in it to make money? CM Punk is going to make me money tenfold, okay? Like, part of the only reason I've checked AEW on occasion was because, you see CM Punk's coming back. Like before I was in wrestling, like everybody else, I like CM Punk, like it was cool. So I'll check out what but when it was like, I haven't watched it, but like, I'm like, oh, fuck it. Like you see the things come up on Facebook and Instagram. You're like, I'll watch this till the end and just see what happens. I'm assuming he's making them a lot of money because if he's not, Tony Khan's an idiot. Like, that's what I mean. The whole idea is to make money. It's a business. A business is meant to make money. You need to work out the best way to make money. Firing CM Punk is probably not going to make you, like, who's worth more? Jungle, what's his name?
Jack Perry
or CM Punk?
Bro, we were having this conversation. Like, I had this conversation with someone earlier, and there's like, bro, if this happened in the 90s and Jack Perry and you replace the year of 1998 and you replace CM Punk with The Undertaker,
There's no problem, right? There's no problem, yeah?
Jack Terry gets his ass beat, bro. That's it.
Pretty much. Because I'm sure, like, back in the day, like, I've heard stories from, you know, like, even things I've been witness to when I started out, when it was, like, kind of like the last of the old school guys in pro wrestling here. I've seen some shit that just, like, you know, like, that was pretty standard. Like, you fuck up, you get hit. It's really that simple. There's no questions asked. I come from that old school upbringing where, like, I was belted black and blue if I put a foot out of line, and I don't have an issue with it. I don't smack my kid different, but like, I come from that era where, you know, you fuck up, you lose 2 teeth. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it goes. It's just a sign of the times. Like, I keep referring to now, the world has changed, bro, and I don't know. Like, I don't know how to navigate it. I struggle day in, day out. A lot of the times I'm told I'm not, you know, politically correct, and that's probably fair. But Mike, look, I actually want to touch on that. You know, can I be honest with you? And this is something I want to give a word of advice to the world, my imparting words of wisdom, okay? Words are just words, okay? If I say something and I intend to hurt you, like I'm trying to insult you and really hurt you, get upset. That's fine. But if I say something because I'm not up to speed on the education behind it, or it's slang, or it's commonality, like where people say words all the time, like, you know, like X, Y, and Z labels, you know, and you get upset by that, like, you're a big problem, okay? Because I'm not out to hurt you, okay? I'm not out to hurt you. You know, educate me, say that's not correct, that's fine, but don't go and get hurt about it, and don't go and fucking cry about it. Like, you know, like, we're raising a bunch, you know, that meme that's on the internet where it's like, you know, 16-year-olds in 1918 were going to war. You know what I mean? Today, they're upset because someone misgendered them, or called them X instead of Y, or called them a fruitcake or a fairy or something. Like, I can't live in this world, bro, like this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I get you. And even Akel says it's the EVPs, the Young Bucks, that would have had the main say in it. They probably don't like a bigger star in Punk being there.
Yeah, sure. I guess Akel's probably know more about it than I would. I haven't heard nice things about the Young Bucks, but I'm not in touch with pro wrestling so much. Like, as in, I don't really follow it, so I don't know.
I honestly think that it's like they probably got, like, they weren't happy because CM Punk went there and went, this is fucking what?
But that's stupid, because wouldn't he make them more money, essentially? Like, if you're all involved, right? Like, hypothetically, my understanding, if Sam Punk's on the card, right, and I'm on the card, right, that means a bigger gate. That means I'm going to get paid more. So wouldn't, despite what he is or whether he's an ass or not, you want him around.
Yeah, I mean, but sometimes people don't think like that, bro. Like, it's a different mentality.
It's back to the whole thing. It's not a business, okay? Because we don't treat it like a business.
You know, it's like there was, like, I heard there was an indie wrestler who turned down a booking because Enzo Amore was on the card, and he did a social, I refused to work a card with Enzo Amore, and, you know, like, all these people were patting him on the back going, oh yeah, well done, man, don't be on a card with Enzo, bro. Yeah, like, you're a dumb fuck, bro. Like, in all honesty, you get a chance to go and be on a star with, like, a show with someone of that caliber, you may learn something, a thing or two, but instead of trying to go on social media and get over with the small, you know, group of marks that you fucking entertain, you know what I mean? That's a different level, bro, of, you know what, you don't have to fucking be best friends with people that you're on a card with. Just go do your fucking job.
Back to my point where you're not a professional, okay? We work with people day in, day out that we don't like, we don't agree with. We don't agree with their life choices, decisions, personality, opinions. But you're a professional. You put that shit aside and you do the job. It's really simple. Okay, like, this is where like I say, professional wrestling here is not professional wrestling. I don't care what you say. You can't change my mind about it. I'm set in that because no one acts like a professional.
How would you like to see people? How would you like to see it changed? How would you like to see people presented? How would you see that as a professional business? What changes would you see needing to be made?
Honestly, you want professional, right? like get like a license to do this. You need a few, like I think you need to go to a certain level of a skill, but also to your point, you pointed it out before, and I'm paraphrasing, but there is a higher propensity of people with mental deficiencies and whatnot in pro wrestling. I can't remember how you phrased it, right? But there's a high level of people with different disorders and whatnot, correct?
Yeah.
That kind of lends to potentially, not saying they can't do it, but like we have loose cannons on the scene. Like I'm sure we have a few psychopaths involved in pro wrestling. I could point a few out, you know what I mean? Psychopaths, you know what I mean? That are nuts, that are like, we just look at the scene and some of the stuff that's happened. Like, I think there needs to be like some type of licensing where you have to go through a licensing procedure, like a fighter has a pro boxing license. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing. You need to have a license to do what we do, and I think that would weed out a lot of the crap, to be completely fair, and you'd have a certain caliber of person operate, because even boxers, they fuck up, they do something bad, their license gets suspended, they can't box no more.
But that's the thing where I feel like when you look at it from a perspective, and we've spoken about the potentially of licensing and having wrestling regulated, it then looks the cost of running a show.
But you need an independent regulator, not someone who owns his fed and needs to be an independent regulator that's not in like someone's back pocket, because essentially we're just going to have the same thing we have now.
But see, I was having a conversation with a podcast which is going to come out in a couple of weeks with Juan Jeremy from the Bronx. He's an independent wrestler, been wrestling for over 20 years. And he told me in New York, wrestling is licensed. So part of the licensing thing is every show, no matter how big or small this show is, every show has to have an ambulance on site.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Opening match. One guy breaks his leg, has to be ambulanced out of there. Ambulance goes. Technically, that's it. The card's done.
Yeah.
The ambulance is gone. You know what I mean? So there's all these things that could go into, like, if you go into licensing and regulation, and maybe it's going to be forced upon depending on, some of these like dog shit feds that are out there that are just putting out absolute garbage with untrained fucking people, and you're just doing ridiculous, stupid fucking shit.
I know there's some feds have a code of conduct, like that I've had to, like with where I've worked, I've had to like sign it or acknowledge it or something. That's great. Like, I think that's a step in the right direction, but at the end of the day, it's not worth the paper it's written on. You know what I mean? Like, the fact of the matter is, like, it probably needs to be a little bit more strict with how you get in and how you do it. Because like back in the day, no one knew about it. You got in through someone you knew, and someone vouched for you to get in. It's like the mafia. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be a certain kind of person of a certain caliber to do it. The fact of the matter is, we've worked so hard on inclusivity and whatnot to say wrestling's for everyone. And that's great. Like, I get all that on paper. Wrestling should be for, is everyone welcome to be involved in some way? Sure. But not everyone should be welcome to participate in the actual wrestling per se. Okay. Like, and that's just honest truth. Everyone can say I'm an ass, I'm this, I'm that. But when you get dropped on your fucking head, okay, then you got a problem. Do you know what I mean? Then ask me if you disagree with me then. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have it together that day. You know what I mean? Even I've been guilty. I didn't have it together that day. Okay. But I ain't go out and do stupid shit in that match. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a certain level of professionalism. And I don't have all the answers. I don't know. But it needs to be run, like a proper business. And you probably do need some type of regulatory body in there that would hold people accountable. Then we might see this scene actually get taken seriously. Because at the end of the day, then it's just, a performance, like a.
I think that it would force I think it would. There'd only be a small handful of shows that would still be able to run if it become regulated.
But you know what? If it became regulated and it had funding behind it, and you could only run a handful of shows, the attendance wouldn't be 30 people, in an arena. Like, you know how hard it is when, for example, right? I've had heat with promoters before, like, oh, you don't bring anyone. You don't bring anyone. Yeah, bro, I'm not bringing anyone because the venue's absolute dog shit. There's no amenities here. Like, if I want to bring people to a show and say, hey, man, actively come and see me wrestle, like, they're going to want to go to dinner, go out. There's nothing around here, bro. What am I bringing them to? Like the venue's not nice. And if I'm trying to build my own brand and make myself, if I need to build my brand and I need to look like a superstar on my social channels to get more fans to come to the wrestling, to make more money and get us paid more, how can I do that when we're not running like a professional show? Why would I want to expose people to that dog shit?
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
Like 100%. You worked EWA with me, right?
Yeah.
Was it first class the entire way? We were sitting there backstage. We were sitting there in Gorilla, and we're like, "Fuck, man, they really pulled out all the stops for this shit." Like, I remember saying that to you before we went out and wrestled Albie. I was like, "Jesus, look at that! Like the fireworks and fuck, wow, the lights. Like, it's like this is good." Like I had people come to that because I knew it was going to be on the level, because they're going to walk away and be like, shit, man, Vinny, he's actually a fucking star. Like, he looks like a star. What does that mean? They're going to take photos. They're going to put it on their socials. Other people are going to see it. So when they see wrestling, they might be more inclined to come. If I go to, not just say fucking idiot town in a little idiot hall, you know what I mean? Like with 30 people, just a curtain and a ring, and a bucket to pee in. How am I going to be able to market this as a performer and get people to come? Exactly my point. So why would I want to? The only reason I take those shows is because, hey, I got nothing to do that weekend. My wife's out. My kid's got something on. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to sit at home and, sleep, or I can go and wrestle and just practice. Do you know what I mean? And try shit out.
Yeah, 100%, man. And that's the beauty of it and being able to do that, but it's interesting sort of to go back a bit. We have a comment in the chat where it says the ego holds back our scene. Indeed. Friends who book friends, the tea party, as a wise man once said.
Oh, I think I'm the tea party. I think that
you're part of the tea party?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the tea party is like the skinny boys like me who are a little bit pretty. I don't know. Is that correct? Can anyone give me a definition of what the tea party boys are? I would love it if anyone can give it. But I think I fit it. But I don't care. Phil, I love you. I don't care what you say. Like, I love you, man. Come give me a hug next time I see you. All right?
Yeah, Phil's the best, bro. But do you feel like that is the case where it is a lot of instances where friends booking friends and the nepotism and etc.?
Oh, really? You're gonna ask that after everything we've discussed tonight?
Yeah.
No shit.
I'm throwing it out there, bro. Like, do you?
No shit, bro. Of course it is. Of course it is. Okay, like look around, bro. Look at like it's. Oh, I'm not the tea party. Oh, Mickey V, how are you, cuzzy? I haven't seen you since Bankstown Sports. What's happening? we found the car, right? We found the car.
Joel Bateman's part of the tea party.
But I need to know Joel Bateman. Wait, who's that?
He's a nobody.
All right, but what's a tea party definition?
I don't know. Everyone pandering to each other, telling people that they're good. Like, so basically going, "Oh, you're so good. You're really good."
Oh, that's everything. that's everything. That's pro wrestling, bro. The circle jerk is unbelievable on this scene, bro.
Bro, it's like, yeah, you're not wrong, man. Like, it gets to that point, doesn't it?
No, it is. It is what it is. But like, you know what, man? We can whinge and bitch all we want. At the end of the day, we have the option to leave. If we don't leave, we're the idiots. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
true.
If we're willing to take this crap, then like we really have no right to whinge. Like we're like, you know what I mean? Like we can leave at any time. We don't have to do this. No one's got a gun to my head. No one's got a gun to your head. We choose to do this. 100%, so we're the stupid ones.
Not really, bro. I do enjoy it, but it's just like I said, there is stupidity that we do see. And I think that's probably been the consensus on this podcast.
I haven't enjoyed it as much as I have until I've been working with you. I had a really fun match with Robbie Zuko, despite how it ended. I don't want to go there. Let's not talk about it. But there's too many questions around that. That's my personal life, and I don't want to get involved with that. That's not for these guys on here. But essentially, you need to like I had fun doing that, and I haven't had fun like that in ages. Like, you want to know when I have a good time, bro? Legitimately, like legit. You know that EWA crew, that EWA show we did like last month? Like that was a good group of boys. Do you know what 100%. I mean? Like you're there, Robbie Zuko, Tristan Slade, Sonic, Scotty, Kasai, Christian. You know, I'm gonna miss people like fuck. And you know, even everything down to the camera crew and ring crew, like, you know, like Mickey, you know, James, Zach, like it was a fucking good crew. Sarah on photography, like it was a really good crew. Like I actually, for once, you feel like it was a good vibe in the locker room. Like there's no beef, there's no stupidity. Like Sama runs a tight ship. Dragonheart's a good dude. Like everyone there, it felt like that was fun. For me, that was like, that wasn't wrestling. Like that was actually like being around good people. That was a good night. You know what I mean? That's when I'm happy, when you're around good people. You know, like whether the show was good, bad, or indifferent, like I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying like it didn't matter. Like the vibe and the people there, like it made it good. You know what I mean? Like it makes
and
it
what
really
about
good.
and the feed afterwards was pretty stellar.
The feet.
The feed. The
posture. The feed.
The feed.
The 2 a.m. feed. Oh yeah, where yeah, no, that was good. That was good. I can't remember it, but that was good. Well, no, yeah, Big John's. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Bro, I feel like that's now become like our go-to place to eat after shows. It's like I'm disappointed when we were on a show and it's not close to there. It's like fuck.
Oh, when we did like Macca's last time and you almost belted the cleaner.
Bro, I did not, bro. We spoke
okay. Wait, I'm gonna tell you. Did we talk about this on the podcast already?
No. So Zuko talked about it on the podcast. I think.
Don't mention his fucking name, okay?
So no, Rob did mention it on the podcast that we did with Nikki Petit, and we said there, I did not try and fight a cleaner. The cleaner was like overzealous. I'm like, what?
The cleaner was a dick. The cleaner was about to get fucking knocked out. He just didn't know it. Like he had some balls, that little bastard, didn't he?
Bro, all I did was open the door and he's like reached back and just grabbed it. He's like pulled it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I just had I wasn't even looking, bro. Like,
hang on.
I was like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
But every time I go out with you, you always get in shit. Like remember that other time we went to Macca's and something happened? I don't know. I think it was you, me, and Sonic. I can't remember. We were somewhere and we did a show and we went to that Macca's in like, I don't even know where. And
Hurstville? No, was it Hurstville? It was Rockdale.
I don't know. But I remember like the guy knocked into you and then he wanted to fight you. And then I was like, dude,
watch out, bro.
Yeah, that's right. And then he wanted to have a go. And I was like, bro, I don't want to go to jail for you tonight, please. Like everywhere we go, man, we always like end up in shit with you. You're like just trouble. Like literally you're trouble, cuz.
But the thing is, I don't go looking for it, bro. I just sort of find myself in it. And I'm just like,
well, you're the most humble guy. Like you're actually really not. Maybe it's because you look like a fucking bikie. Maybe that's why, bro. The tats, the beard, the bald head. Maybe that's why, bro.
Do you reckon do you think I need to grow the hair out? You reckon that'll sort of like give me a more softer look to people if I grow
the hair out? Elite Hair Clinic. I can't rate them anymore. I'm going to give them a cheap plug. Elite Hair Clinic. Go see him. Okay. Go see Dr. Will. Tell him Vinnie sent you. He'll take care of you.
Bro, I don't. Nah, for me, I'll go gracefully, bro. Like I can grow hair, bro, but I don't know. I just was like thin in here.
Listen, I saw photos of you with hair. Okay, you look like a little mafia don. Okay, I swear to God. Okay, like literally a little mafia don. That's you. Okay, that's you. Legit.
Nah, bro. No way in the world, bro. Get face tats,
bro. Get face tats, man. I don't. People that
Zuzu's got half of his face tattooed.
I met Zuzu, the clown, the clown guy, right? The clown. He's a gentleman, bro. I met him at Kingdom when we worked Kingdom last year. That guy, bro, what a body. And, bro, he's older than me, and the guy looks like that guy has like one of the best bods in the country. Legit. I don't care. Like amazing.
Bro, I will say this though, bro. Like in a world of people like instead of going and tweeting something out when they're not happy about certain things that get mentioned, on this podcast or commenting on a public thing. Zuzu is probably one of the only people who hit me up after a podcast I did with someone and said, hey man, I disagree with blah, 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 blah. Here is why. And it wasn't him having a go. It was just him sort of saying, hey man, I just felt the need to let you know my thoughts on this. And
that's a conversation, and that's respect.
You know what? I went, I respect that.
Yeah, man. Me too.
I really do. I respect that shit. You know what I mean?
Kudos to him, bro.
100%.
He doesn't. Where does he work? Because I've only crossed paths with him at Kingdom. I've never worked with him anywhere else.
He works at Kingdom. I think AWS.
Yeah, he should get out there more.
Yeah,
or maybe he does, and I don't. Maybe I need to get out there more. I don't know.
He does a lot of the deathmatch stuff as well. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, that's. I don't have the stomach for it, man.
Yeah, we're not going to see Vinnie Vane in a no rope barbed wire.
Tube I am way too fucking pretty for that. I ain't even going to lie about it. Okay, not happening. Not happening. Don't let the glasses fool you. Like no. Like it's. I like what's going on. It's not happening.
I like what's going on. So no face tats, no barbed wire, no light tubes.
Nah, not for me, bro. Not for me.
Yeah. There you go, man. Well, like, man, I don't know, bro. Like the
why don't you go do a death match?
Me, fuck that, bro. I'm not even gonna do a regular match, bro.
Man, never say never, man. What if our booking requires you to? Why don't I be your agent for once and you go do the wrestling, huh?
Bro, no one wants to fucking see that. No one would want to see that.
I got $20.
Nah, bro, no fucking way. No, I could. Yeah, nah, I couldn't get in there and wrestle, bro. I'd just embarrass myself and embarrass everyone who's involved.
I want to ask you a question. You've asked me a shitload, and I know we're running on an hour 40. But you asked a question to me before, and you said, "Why aren't you and I booked on those bigger feds?" Right? And I gave you my reason. Right? Why do you think we're not doing bigger things? Like, I'm not saying what we're not doing isn't big, but let's be real. We're not in that mainstream where all the marks, like, you know, you put them on a certain fed and, they're amazing, irrelevant of how bad they actually are. But why do you think we're not doing bigger things? Like, we're in demand, but we got a lot of room for, like, we got a lot of open dates. Like, why? What do you think's holding us back? Is it my wrestling ability? Is it my marketing ability? Is it something you're doing? What do you think it is, man? Tell me.
I don't know, man. I think we're still like we're not even a year in. I think we've made a lot of strides since we've started in like the almost 1 year that we've been there and been doing our thing. I think that we're probably still got a little while to go, and I think that in 1 year we've definitely been able to get on some pretty good shows. We've had some pretty cool moments. And regardless, I don't really give a shit if I don't get on any other promotions, bro. Like I'm good doing what I'm doing. If the opportunities, like, bro, that's the thing, man. I've always been like said yes to an opportunity when it's landed in my lap.
Sure.
And that's, even if I don't know how to do something, my first reaction is agree to it, then figure out how to do it.
Okay.
And I feel like that's worked out pretty well for me in my 41 years of life. But I don't need to go out and chase bookings and stuff like that. If I get booked, I get booked. If they want to pay for my time, then I go and do it. But for the most part, like I'm happy with where I'm at. If it doesn't, nothing else comes of it, so be it. I've had a pretty good opportunity. I've had a pretty good run. I've had some pretty good moments, and hopefully I get a few more.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that, yeah, bro. Like, I don't really care, bro. Like, if it doesn't come, it doesn't come. Like, it's.
But why do you think it's not coming? That's my question. Like, I get you don't care, but why is it? Do you think we're lacking something, or do you think it's politics, or do you think it's, like, for lack of a better term, like, we don't suck dick? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we tell it how it is. I think that we're
our mouths get us into trouble, hands down.
Yeah, but like in the same sense, bro. Like it's we're straight up. We tell it how it is. We're direct. but also the fact is we're not going to pander to the bullshit. We're not going to sit there and listen to people making fun of people with some form of mental illness or fucking, we're not going to deal with arrogant fucking cockheads. So like, I feel like that for the most part is probably in a little bit of our detriment where, I don't think we suck, like we don't suck dick, bro.
Yeah, but at least we don't care. At least we do it our way.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. The Tea Party didn't come up through the bigger schools, brother. They're just as much larger clique up there.
I don't know what that means. Someone's going to have to decipher that for
me.
I
don't know. The Tea Party didn't come up.
Just anyone on this thing that is watching, how many, do we have a lot of people watching? I assume we do because I'm fucking awesome. But anyway.
We got close to 20 still in the chat. Hour and 44
Oh, that's cool. Okay, someone on here who knows what the Tea Party is. I just want the definition because it just sounds cool. I just want to know what the definition is. That's all.
We told you what it is. Just the people that are just like patting each other on the back.
Oh, that's right, patting out. Oh, the circle jerk. Oh yeah, the circle jerk.
Yeah, the circle jerk. Okay. The circle jerk.
And is that did Phil come up with the Tea Party? Is that Phil's thing?
I think so. But you know what?
Phil, you need to put it on a t-shirt and you need to sell it. Okay, like you need to sell it because like I think it's funny.
But you know what, bro? Like bringing Phil on this podcast is absolutely great because it's like the amount of fun that me and Zuko had that last time where it was like we just let him go.
Listen,
and it was like, and we had this fucking like, dude. For me, it was like the most fun.
I'm gonna tell you something about Phil, right? He might not remember this, but I do. I went on tour like before my kid was born with AWE, and Phil was on the tour, and I think we were in Albury. We went to this nightclub after the show, right? Yeah. And Phil Picasso, I'm gonna say this about Phil. He was like talking to some chicks. I don't know. We ended up talking to these chicks that were at this club. I don't remember much. But Phil was like an absolute gentleman. Like Phil could be like the Birdman 1 minute, and then he was having this like deep conversation. I was like kind of in earshot and I could hear it. And he was like, pulled out a chair for a lady, like he offered her a drink. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, do you know what I mean? You don't expect it from Phil because like, Phil's a Birdman and he's G'd up and like, but he has this other side to him. And it's like I had mad respect for him. I had respect for him before that, but after that I was just like, wow, like he surprised me, you know what I mean? Like he's a bit of a charmer, a bit of a ladies' man.
Oh, bro, he definitely is, mate. But you know what? Like having him on, like he excited, like just makes the podcast funny. But like one of my producers sent me a clip to post on my social media about like from that podcast the other week, and it was like I actually sent it to the person like he's talking about just to make sure he's happy. But he turned around and it was like, mate. He calls me a geriatric, but imagine talking that much shit and looking like, you know what I mean? Like, and saying that person's name, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh man, there's some fucking stories, eh?
Oh, bro, man, like, but yeah, what? He's a guy who like we talk about the woke culture, bro. Like he doesn't give a fuck, bro. He turns around and put a photo up of himself with Sylvester the cat saying just came in. I'm off to the cat house, bro. The guy is hysterical, bro. Like,
but you know what? Good on him.
Woke culture, bro. He's like, fuck him. What are they gonna do? He does his thing.
Look, I'm Greek Lebanese, right? So like my parents are like, like they're ingrained in that sort of upbringing. Yeah. There's none of this woke culture exists with them. Like you go and explain to them, like my mum, right? God love her, the best, right? I cannot tell you the amount of times that woman has been banned from Facebook because of some of the shit she says and comments on. Because like,
really?
She doesn't give a fuck. She's like, I'm 60 years old. I don't need to fucking mind my P's and Q's for anybody. Because I've earned the right to call you a fucking idiot and tell you a spade's a spade. You don't like it? Fuck you. That's literally my mum verbatim. And you know what? Like in some way, you need people like that in the world, bro, because they need to keep the rest of us in check. Because we go off. So like, I don't know, woke culture and me. I don't know, bro. I don't agree with some of it. Some things I'm all for. I'm not a complete Neanderthal. Some things I agree with. 100%. Okay, but some things, bro, too far, man. Like too far. And especially because I've got a daughter. I'm a little bit more a little bit more cautious because I don't want her
Of
to grow
course.
up in this woke world, bro, because it's
100%.
fucking messed. Okay, like you can't breathe without offending someone, or like, nah,
Yeah.
it's not for me.
But you know what? Like that's where I'm saying Phil just has zero fucks to give. Shit that he's
100%.
telling me,
You know what?
but
Good on
like
him. He'll live longer. He'll live happier than the rest of us. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because ignorance is bliss.
100%, man. But man, we're approaching nearly 2 hours doing this live, bro. That's we have fucking came here, destroyed, fucking smashed out tonight's episode.
Have we?
Well, I think we have. I feel like we should probably like get you back on again, and I think more often. I think we need to get you back on the channel and the back having conversations here a bit more regularly.
I know. I just got to stop swearing so much. It's a real bad habit.
Nah, fuck it, bro. Who gives a fuck? Oh, man. But as always, bro, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming on tonight and spending
Thank you for having me.
Of your time talking some shit with me, bro. But guys, make sure you go and follow my boy Vinnie Vane at everywhere you can find him at Vinnie_Vane. See, there you go. I even know your fucking social media handles.
Yeah,
bro.
but you got my fucking name wrong at the start, huh?
And I'm never gonna get to live that bitch down, am I?
People don't forget.
That's it. But guys, make sure you go and give Vinnie a follow. But also make sure you go and check out our sponsor, sleeps.com. Use that promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Also, guys, you've been watching the greatest podcast in the world, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share, all that good shit. Until next time, take care. All the best. Peace.